All right, mm, Diva Moment 11. What's your 20 people?
Lady in the street, diva in the seat. She's a truckin' lady, truckin' lady.
I am in currently in Arizona, and one thing I noticed, I just woke up and I'm driving. I woke up at a casino that has truck parking. One thing that's frustrating out here is I understand there's very limited parking for truckers. I completely understand that aspect and I respect it. The problem that I have is when it comes to shutting down, it's like I know we're on a clock. I know we have to hurry up and shut down. But my thing is, why do truck drivers feel like they're the only one? Like certain truck drivers feel like they're the only ones that matter. Like you block people in and don't care. It's like we don't have courtesy to each other. And if we don't have courtesy to each other, how do we expect anybody else to have courtesy or respect for each other? For us, I mean, it's frustrating. Luckily, I always try to make sure I park to leave myself an out. I do. I try to make sure I always park to leave myself an out. The frustrating part is even when I leave myself out, I feel like someone's going to take that little space that do leave myself out for. Luckily, it didn't block me in this time, but it did make it difficult still to get out of the truck stop or the parking area. Like I really had to do some serious maneuvering. I really had to learn how to spot openings to get out because people will park in the craziest ways. I've learned to also, if I can, if it's safe, I will also get out and walk to the restroom. And on the way to the restroom, I try to spot maybe some outs, or when I'm coming back, I'll probably try to spot some outs that I can go to. The frustrating part is that there's been a couple of times where I've been blocked and wasn't able to get out enough. And I hate having to wake up a truck driver to ask them to move forward or backward so that I can get out the space. Because I understand our sleep is, it's important. You hate getting woken up because then it's like your adrenaline is going. So, because you're like, why is somebody waking me up? Is it the police? Is it, did something happen? Is there a fire or something? You don't know what it is. You just know someone's knocking on your door and you're waking up. So I hate waking people up because I know when I get woken up out of my sleep when I'm out here, it's hard for me to go back to sleep sometimes. So I understand like the need and the concept of uninterrupted sleep. I really hate having to wake drivers up. I know sometimes you can't help it, especially like the road shut down and you have no choice, nowhere to go. But that's where like trip planning comes into play. Like if you plan properly, you'll know exactly where you're shutting down. You have these truckers that will like run their clocks down to the very end and have no choice but to shut down. Like, force shut down. Sometimes they shut down on the side of the road or, shut down in places that they're not really supposed to because they have no clock left. I don't understand why trip planning isn't part of the CDL test because I feel that that's a very important aspect of trucking. And I'm like, oh, that's stupid to put trip planning on a CDL test. Not really. When they put other stuff on there, it's just like really stuff that has like stuff that really we don't need to know. But um, they have stuff on there, so why not? Information is knowledge. Knowledge is power. So the more information you have going behind before you get behind the wheel, to me, is the better. So, but yeah, so it's a little frustrating when um, I plan my day. I plan to shut down. Certain times I'll yesterday got shut down due to wind, so did not get as far as I wanted to, so I ended up shutting down there. So I wasn't even planning on shutting down there myself. So I understand why there was a lot of trucks there. But I also feel like a lot of these places that do have some, I mean, there's lines, there's parking lines, but they're not very clear and you're not able to see them, especially at night. So I feel in those type of places there should be parking lot security there to make sure that people are parking correctly, parking in a way that's not blocking other people in. The reason why I say that is because in case of an emergency, how are we all supposed to get out in an orderly fashion? It won't happen. You got everybody parked every which way. Like there should be like organized parking. Just like when you come to an event, you tell them this is where you're going to park at. This is where you're going to park, and you have people there organizing that. Like that should be something in these places that are just like wide open parking spaces, even just regular parking lots and parking structures and stuff like that. Like when there's um, certain situations, I think you should have parking staff. I think all truck stops should have just parking staff in general, especially the truck stops that have like reserve parking and you don't have your reserve parking when you get there if you paid for it or you use your points or whatever to get a parking space and then you don't have it. Some places enforce it, some places don't. So it's like, well, where am I supposed to park now? I did my due diligence. I planned ahead to get reserve parking, and now I get here and it's not available, and you're telling me that you can't do anything about it? Well, what's the purpose of me getting reserve parking if you can't do anything about it? That's another frustrating issue out here we're dealing with. I just wish that there was more mandates for truck parking. I mean, we're big vehicles. We can't park everywhere. We have certain areas that we can and can't park. We need easily accessible. We need it to be large. We need to at least have restroom facilities. If you're not going to be open 24/7, have actual restroom facilities at least so that we can access like a rest area does. Um, don't give us porta potties. We're not animals, and we should be treated, better than prisoners do. Prisoners get restrooms. They actually get restroom facilities. So why can't we? So that's just another little thing that irks me out here on the road. But the main thing is, as drivers, we need to have respect for each other, at least from each other, because it's hard enough out here trying to get respect of everybody else. Our job is stressful enough, but we shouldn't try to make it more stressful for each other. We should try to help each other. And if you have to get woken up in the middle of the night, just know it's probably because you parked somewhere stupid.
You're on with a trucking lady here, and that means you're listening to me through YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, wherever you get your podcast from. In my podcast, I've shared so far my experiences as a trucker coming into this industry, and I have so much more to share. But if I've inspired you to take that leap to become a truck driver yourself, I want you to join me here at Prime. Here, you will get your training, your experience, knowledge, and expertise from some of the greatest drivers out there on the road, not to mention the safest. If you don't believe me, you can look up primeinc.com, contact a recruiter at 1-877-491-1108. Give them my driver referral code, ALLSIA. We hope to see you rolling next to us on the road.
Diva Moment 12. Currently, still in Arizona. I wanted to talk about something, y'all. Why is it that these truck stops are not catered to females? Meaning, you can go into Pilot Flying J, TA Petro, Loves, and find all kinds of men's products, but the women's products are scarce. Like, I understand, women coming into trucking is something that's still new. It's still, a growing field for us. But I want to say in the last 5 years, it's definitely grown for sure. Definitely at Prime. There's a lot more females out here. So y'all need to have more stuff for us females. I'm tired of walking in the truck stops and seeing shaving cream that's for men, men's cologne, men's body wash, men's this, men's that, men's this, men's that. It's like okay, let's have some stuff for the women. Let put some Bath and Body Works. Like Bath and Body Works can get some contracts with some of these truck stops, especially like Love's, TA Petrols. They usually have the space for these type of things, for even just a small shelf. Let's get some products out there for us. Let's get some I don't know, some stuff from maybe, Sephora. Like we want to have, access to makeup and stuff at these truck stops. Like, put some feminine products in there. We have cycles. I mean, they have this little stuff on there for, those are mostly for people that are four wheeling, four wheelers that need to grab something real quick on the road. But like, have like an actual, in the trucker section stuff for us. Like, they have men's underwear, men's tank tops. Some of the truck stops may have women's underwear, but they don't have women's socks. They don't have sports bras. They don't have, a whole bunch of hair stuff. They're getting a little better at TA on some women's things. They have like a women's go kit and stuff like that, where it's like all little miniature travel size stuff. And they have some hair care stuff there. I'm not gonna take that away. But the thing is, the options still are very slim. But men's stuff is, growing. So, women are big shoppers. Men aren't so much. So you would think that they will want to capitalize on women that spend money. Um, I also feel like Pilot is starting to do it. I think Loves is too. Like they need to enhance the electronics. Tablets, having actual tablets. They used to have them at TA and Petro, but I haven't seen them in a while. Like, okay, I can understand CB radios, headsets. Yeah, that's important to have. Inverters, that's all important stuff to have. But let's have like, Loves for sure. They definitely have stepped up their game on some of the electronics. I've seen iPad options, even extension cords or, power strips and stuff like that. uh, Even HDMI cords out here. And I actually have a funny moment where I actually did need one. Like, who thinks of, oh, I'm on the truck, I need an HDMI cord. My HDMI cord broke, so I could not watch. There's a few ways I watch TV. Sometimes I'll stream directly from my iPad that has a cellular plan, so I don't have to use my Wi Fi or a hotspot to stream. So I'll just use my iPad HDMI adapter and plug it directly into my TV. So that way it just mirrors what's on my iPad. And one day that actually broke, which was very unfortunate. So with that being broke, this was a few years ago actually, about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I was able to thankfully find a truck stop that had HDMI cord. I mean, of course, it was expensive. I mean, I don't really expect anything less from a truck stop. But the frustrating part was like, if I hadn't come across that truck stop with it, I would not have had a way to watch TV. And out here on the road, to me, like me being able to watch TV sometimes is just a good mental break from everything else I might be dealing with. I think that day the highway was shut down about an hour and a half ahead of me due to an accident. So I didn't get as far as I was going to be. I had already been sitting in traffic for about 40 minutes just to get to that truck stop, um, because it was construction going on as well. So I was able to get that HDMI cord. But like I said, that was like between 2.5, 3 years ago. The fact that we don't have access to Best Buy, we can sometimes get to Walmart, but Walmart doesn't always have everything. I think there should be, like, they have in the airports, in the malls and stuff, they have the little mini Best Buy little kiosk things. So if I have any Best Buy people or anybody that can, get the word out to maybe put maybe a Best Buy, a little mobile like vending machine up at some of these truck stops. Hell, Amazon done put some lockers up at TAs and Petros so that we can get stuff sent to us. Why can't we get some Best Buy lockers put up? Just saying. That's just another way for Best Buy to make some money off of us truckers. They can put different stuff that the truck stops don't offer. You know, like well, I've seen Apple watches, but like Android watches. They can have Android tablets. Not everybody has Apple. Um, they can put cell phones. Like truck stops really don't have cell phone options. Like there was a time I actually did break my cell phone on the road. I was like, there's gonna be an episode on the actual Trucking Lady podcast later on. But the the whole moral of the story is I broke my phone on the road and I had was able to get to a Walmart. It was a hassle. I was able to get to a Walmart to get another phone. If they had them at truck stops, then I wouldn't have had to do that. Um, they can be refurbished phones. They don't like. I think these iPads and watches that I'm seeing are all refurbished. They're not brand new. They're refurbished. They're older. But the fact of the matter is that they're there. You know what I mean? They're there for us. So if Best Buy can say, okay, this is what the truck stops are selling. Okay, we won't sell this. We'll sell. Um, we won't be we won't be competitive in that nature. But we know y'all sell Apple products for watches and tablets. So we're gonna do some Android tablets because they even like I've even seen Raycons. I even got my husband a pair of Raycons back in I think January or February of this year. Got him some Raycons at from a TA, well, not TA, from a Flying J Pilot location. So that was nice. Because they have these fake AirPods, but they don't really sell. I haven't seen any AirPods yet. They can sell some more things like cell phone covers. Um, um, More options for us out here. I know some truck stops do have actual like Verizon's in them, which is great. Like they are the authorized retailers, of course, but still the fact that they do, but they're not always open. They're not 24/7. The cell phone locations are not 24/7. So sometimes it's not easy to get access to stuff you need from them. So like I said, those are two things that I feel like truck stops need to expound on is more products for women and electronics because we don't have access to them. Like, yeah, they sell TVs, high as hell, of course. Yes, they sell certain things, but there's so much more that they could sell for us um, without us having to go to a Walmart or because the convenience of being able to get certain things at truck stops is like amazing. Like I like some of the truck stops up north. There's actually one when you first get into New Mexico if you're going west, and it's the last exit before you go into Texas if you're going east. It's like a miniature grocery store inside. And I actually needed it a couple days ago because I forgot to get shredded cheese when I went grocery shopping and they had some shredded cheese and I needed a can opener. Paid way too much for it, paid $10 for it, but I needed it and I'm glad I got it. So like a lot of these truck stops would see that a lot of truck drivers cook on the road and have more than just the basic stuff that they offer and make it like a miniature grocery store. Like the ones up north have, I want to say it's a it's a quick something. I don't know, it's Quick Mart, quick something, but it's a I know it's in. I've seen them in Wisconsin. I've seen them in Minnesota, and like walk in there and it's like a little miniature grocery store. It's a truck stop. It doesn't have showers, but it does have capabilities if you need, certain things to make food, make meals. They even have produce, stuff like that. So they have a meat selection, stuff like that. So that's always a great option to be able to, instead of just always buying food that you have to pop in the microwave or hot food selections, a lot of people like to cook. So that's my moment for today. What's your 20 people? A trucking lady out.